A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to talk about Mars placed in the 4th house. But before that, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your comments and your suggestions there. If you have not subscribed to our channel till date, then please do, and do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. So, in Saravali, it's been categorically mentioned that if Mars is posited in the 4th house, it does not really do any good to the person concerned. It in fact destroys good effects of the other strong planets also. Such a person is devoid of having conveyances, such a person may not have a good health, the person can lose a lot of his value in life. In fact, a paternal property that the person gets is lost, the person loses a lot of his money. These are the material things. When it comes to relationship, such a person may not have good relationships with his wife or spouse, that is, such a person can also be libidinous and can have problems in the married life. Let's not forget, Mars from the 4th house also aspects the 7th house and as such can also cause harm to the person. Again, Mars when placed in the 4th house also brings in problems to the spouse and the children. The person may not have children. This 5th house is the house which is of the children, and 4th house is 12th to the 5th house. So, this Mars can negate children and people cannot enjoy or cannot have much. If their children survive due to other factors, they may not be able to derive much pleasure out of children. Also, the spouse may be sickly, may not survive, or as I said, there can be problems with the spouse. You could also have problems relating to a lot of wealth and other things. But there's one thing which is very categorically and very straightforwardly stated in all the classical texts, and that is that a person who has Mars in the 4th house does have landed property. Again, this is something that we will see. All these things, will it come out to be true? Not necessarily so. Well, you need to observe few things. What are they? The thing is, where is Mars actually positioned? Is it positioned in the sign of fall? Is it positioned in the sign in the 4th house? Is it positioned in the sign of fall, or is it positioned in its sign of exaltation? In the 4th house, is it placed in its own house or in a friend's house, or is it in the enemy house? All the things have to be taken into notion before we come to a very strong conclusion. The above statements are the general view, or rather should I say the observation which has been categorized by the elders. So, one more thing that I have noticed very clearly is the loss of spouse when Mars is in the 4th is done thing. Why do I say that? Well, even if it is debilitated, even if it is exalted, that Mars will hamper the spouse. It could be in terms of relationships not being fidel, and then spouse could just leave, or there could be divorce and things happening, or it could also be the loss of spouse by way of death or other things. So, this is one thing that I have seen. I have also seen that people can lose out on money, very much, a lot of money, and these people also are controversial figures. 4th Mars gives you a shredder, a lot of controversies. I have also seen what Narayan Bhatt says, that the other planets, even if they are well placed, 4th Mars has a tendency to destroy a number of good factors of other planets, and we will see it in an example at a later stage. Finally, when we come to the silver lining of this placement, it is landed properties. People with planets in this house, that is the 4th house, will have, according to Deshkal Patra, landed properties for sure. If you want to be more definite about it, you can always look into the 4. That will give you a very strong indication as to what the landed property of the person will be. On this particular subject of landed property, I have made a chart. I have made a video on this, so do look into that video also. Let's get back to the charts. The first chart I take is of an Indian actor, Kamal Hassan. So Kamal Hassan is well known for his movies, and that's not just in the Tamil film industry, but it is also in the Bollywood that we know of him having a clout. He's done a fantastic job, and his antics, his way of acting has been superb. However, with the placement of this 4th Mars, he's not got what he's capable of. In fact, if you look into his chart, you will see a exalted Jupiter also, and that too in the 10th house, which makes a very strong Hamsa yoga. And you see a Sasa yoga, but having made a video on Sasa yoga, I've explained that there is yoga bhang for the Sasa yoga also. And Mars itself exalted in the 4th house is causing a very strong yog bhang for Jupiter, and that is the reason the place where he should have been with his talent, he is not there. What more, he has a lot of landed properties, but and that's very given, that can be experienced and can be read over the internet. Another thing that I have to tell you is that loss of spouse is there, and that is because of his infidel nature, which is again not something that I am telling, but which is something that has been in news for a pretty long time. In the chart of Rabindranath Tagore, which is the next chart that we are going to take, we will see that Rabindranath Tagore also has his 4th placement of Mars. Mars placed in his 4th house in the sign of Gemini. But there is one qualification again. If you look into his D4, then you will be able to make out very clearly that the big piece of land, again, as Mars promises huge lands if it is placed in 4th, and the D4 placement also gives him that ability. So that land, Shantiniketan, that he built was a gift at a very low price that he had purchased from a well-wisher. Apart from that, he lost his wife at a very young age. He lost his children at very young ages. In fact, there's also been said that he's always been a traveler. He's traveled from place to place. He didn't live in a lot of peace, always stressed out. And this is something that Saravali categorically states with that placement. He's got an exalted sun also. So many good planets, so many good placements. But as stated in Saravali, there is a bhang. This Mars in the 4th house causes a bhang or a break in the good yogas that you can find in the chart. It's not something that we must take it to be fatal, because I repeat, we have to see where the planet is positioned, which house ruler that it is. In this case of Rabindranath Tagore, we know that it's the 2nd and the 9th ruler placed in the 4th house. So it does give him a name and fame. It does bring him a lot of people together, loving him, caring for him, because of the placement of the 9th lord in the 4th house. I repeat, all that we see cannot be generalized, but it has to be taken into account after understanding the placement of the planets and the house lord that it is. Till we meet with you again, stay safe and do let us know how you found this video. Thank you.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.